I fell in love with a courtesan. Ignoring the ridicule of the world, I redeemed her and married her with the ceremony of a legitimate wife, elevating her to the most honorable princess in the entire capital. But she loathed me. She said that every touch of mine made her feel utterly disgusted. Later, I found out she had fallen for an actor. She hated me, believing that if it weren't for my forceful actions, she would have long been a loving wife to the actor. One late night, I discovered she had been secretly involved with the actor for some time. In a fit of rage, I died on the spot. When I opened my eyes again, I was reborn on the day I proposed to her. She looked at me with resentment. Don't think that just because you have power and influence I will submit to you. Let me tell you, though you redeemed my body, my heart will never belong to you. I sneered. Don't flatter yourself. I, a dignified prince, would never redeem a courtesan like you who has been with countless men. Ding! Story Shots reminds you to click the subscribe button at the bottom right corner to read the full novel. I don't want to marry you. I would rather stay in this brothel than become your princess. Ning Xiaoxiao stood in her boudoir, glaring at me with anger. Your power can force me into a wedding dress, but it will never win my heart. I held my throbbing head and quietly met her gaze. At that moment, she was wearing a red wedding dress with gold embroidery, a luxurious hairpin on her head, and her face was adorned with exquisite makeup, looking both stunning and captivating. I was somewhat dazed. I suddenly remembered when I first met her. She was just a thin, pitiful little girl. I recall that day the capital was pouring rain, and I was plotting with my royal brother in a private room at the fragrant pavilion. Suddenly, there was a commotion outside, and a woman covered in scars burst through the door. Young master, please save me. Please save me. Her hair was disheveled, her clothes barely covering her, and her fair skin was covered in shocking whip marks. Yet, when she looked up, her tender face couldn't hide her beauty, and her captivating eyes were filled with tears, evoking compassion. The next moment, the madam stormed in with her thugs. Do you think you're some noble princess? I bought you to serve customers. Young master, please save me. Her soft, boneless hand clutched my robe tightly, and her crystalline tears fell on my shoes as she pleaded. I really don't want to be defiled by men. She looked so beautiful, like a delicate flower enduring the harsh wind and rain. At that moment, my heart was fiercely shaken. From the madam's words, I learned of her background. Her name was Ning Xiaoxiao, from a poor farming family. Her mother sold her for 2 taels of silver to marry off her brothers. At the fragrant pavilion, she refused to serve customers and was beaten by the madam, leaving her covered in scars. I pitied her and wanted to redeem her, but she stubbornly refused, saying, Young master, I just don't want to serve customers, but I can't despise my origins. I want to carve out a path for myself through my own efforts. Her thoughts were quite unique. I had never met such an extraordinary girl, and my interest in her grew. I wanted to take her back to the prince's residence, to protect her, to let this delicate and vibrant flower bloom freely without any humiliation. Yet, even when I revealed my identity, Ning Xiaoxiao was unwilling. She said that if I insisted on taking her away, then, in her eyes, I would be no different from the madam forcing her to serve customers. Thus, she became a pure entertainer at the fragrant pavilion, selling her art but not her body. I visited the fragrant pavilion every day to see her. When she found the place stifling, I took her out of the city to ride horses and enjoy the scenery. When she grew tired of the sights, I ignored the mocking gazes of the royals and took her to the crown prince's banquet. At the banquet, I piled all the delicious food and drinks in front of her like treasures. However, she was indifferent to all of it, even showing some disdain. I thought she was aloof, looking down on such extravagant things. But later, I found out that she didn't want to leave the brothel, or be with me because her heart belonged to another man. That man was Li Luyun, an actor raised among women, only skilled in applying makeup. Every day, Ning Xiaoxiao worked hard at the fragrant pavilion, playing music and entertaining men, only to spend her earnings at the theater, supporting Li Luyun. She and Li Luyun were deeply in love. Outside, they rowed boats on the lake. Inside, Li Luyun did her makeup. I was furious. She ignored my passionate love for her, yet spent all her time with an actor who only knew how to squander women's hard-earned money. Unable to contain my anger, I shouted at her, "Ning Xiaoxiao, haven't I been good enough to you? Why are you with him?" She was impatient with me. "Do you want to use force to compel me? Let me tell you, I will be with whoever I want to be with." Li Luyun timidly hid behind Ning Xiaoxiao, but didn't forget to taunt. "Xiaoxiao, the prince looks very angry. Is he going to kill me?" Ning Xiaoxiao stood tall, glaring at me fiercely. "If you dare to harm him, I'll kill myself." "You!" I was furious and wanted to raise my hand to slap her. But in the end, I forced myself to hold back. I secretly vowed never to seek her out again. Yet, every deep night, her breathtakingly beautiful face would constantly appear in my mind. I was restless, unable to eat or sleep. Later, Ning Xiaoxiao, with red-rimmed eyes, came to my mansion's gate. "My lord, Luyun is in trouble. I beg you to save him." She had clearly dressed up carefully before coming to plead with me. She wore the silk robe I had given her, embroidered with irises, and in her hair was a magnolia sandalwood hairpin I had crafted myself. Even the lily incense on her was my favorite scent. She knew how to please me, making me willing to bow down to her. I softened and asked her, "What did Li Luyun do?" Ning Xiaoxiao's eyes flickered, tears rolling down her cheeks. "He accidentally offended your royal brother and was thrown into prison." I laughed at myself. "I can't save him. Li Luyun didn't accidentally offend my brother. He attempted to defile my brother's concubine. Not being executed immediately was already a great mercy from the emperor." Ning Xiaoxiao suddenly pulled out the hairpin and stabbed it toward her neck, glaring at me with hatred. "My lord, if you don't save him, I'll die right in front of you." The tip of the hairpin quickly pierced her delicate skin. Panicked. At that moment, I realized I loved her so deeply that I couldn't extricate myself. I went to plead with my brother. He looked at me with disappointment. "On the battlefield, you are wise and brave, killing countless enemies. But I never imagined that now you would be so foolish over a courtesan." I forced myself to speak. "I have followed father into battle since I was 8. Now that the war has subsided, I finally understand my feelings. I have never easily given my love, but once in love, I will give my all." My brother scolded me. "You are incredibly foolish." In the end, Li Luyun was released. But I became the subject of ridicule and disdain among my other royal siblings. They said that the wise and heroic Prince Mubai had fallen for a despicable courtesan and turned into a fool. They also said it was laughable that the courtesan didn't love me but loved a male actor. And to please the courtesan, I even extended my affection to the actor. Later, Li Luyun was banished from the capital by my brother. Ning Xiaoxiao remained depressed. I tried every way to find rare treasures to cheer her up. Gradually, she began to accept me. I wanted to marry her but feared she would think I was using power to oppress her. One day, I cautiously proposed my idea. She was very angry. "I told you, I don't care to become your princess." I had to use a lot of gold, silver, jewels, and silk to appease her. One deep night, we both drank and naturally we ended up together. I immediately said I would take responsibility for her. She sneered, "I'm a courtesan. Your responsibility is just to take me home as a concubine." I swore, "I will make you the most honored princess." That day, I sent a grand procession with 10 miles of red makeup, endless silk, and an 8-carriage sedan chair to marry her as my rightful wife. At the same time, I became the laughingstock of the world. Everyone mocked me, saying that while others marry wisely, the prince married a courtesan. I didn't care about the world's opinions. I only cared about Ning Xiaoxiao. After the marriage, I thought she would live harmoniously and lovingly with me as husband and wife. Soon, I realized I was wrong. The day after the wedding, Ning Xiaoxiao moved to a temple to live, under the pretense of praying for blessings. I didn't want her to go, but she scornfully mocked me. I pray for the people of the world, while you only think about your own desires. Aren't you disgusting? I had to agree and personally took her to the temple to settle her in. During the deep nights apart from her, I was constantly worried, wondering if Ning Xiaoxiao could endure the temple's harsh cold porridge and thin clothes. Later, my father sent me to the frontier to fight the Huns. I held the frontier for 3 years, finally defeating the Huns and obtaining an extremely precious luminous pearl. I was injured and disabled, but I ignored the pain, riding a 1,000-mile horse day and night, just wanting to bring this treasure to Ning Xiaoxiao. Upon reaching the temple, I couldn't wait to push open her bedroom door. I didn't see her chanting prayers. In this sacred place, I saw her clothes completely removed, engaging in an illicit affair with Li Luyun on the bed. Li Luyun's mocking voice pierced my ears. If Zhang Mubai knew you were pregnant with my child, wouldn't he die of anger? Ning Xiaoxiao giggled charmingly. Why mention someone like him? He's just a dog by my side. Keeping him brings us endless wealth and prosperity. Rage filled my heart, and I wanted to kill this pair of adulterers. But instead, I spat out a mouthful of blood. I died on the spot. Zhang Mubai, I'll tell you one last time, I don't want to marry you. Ning Xiaoxiao's voice gradually pulled me back from my memories. She was still as breathtakingly beautiful as ever. But the anger in my chest was overwhelming, and I couldn't suppress it. In my previous life, I treated her extremely well, even lowering my status to introduce her to all the noble children in my royal family. I gathered countless rare treasures just to make her smile. But what about her? When she had problems, she cried and sought me out. When she didn't, she said I was her pet dog. At this moment, a man with a slicked-back hair and powdered face walked over. He snorted, "My lord, Xiaoxiao doesn't love you. I advise you to leave quickly." I glanced at him. He was the actor Li Luyun that Ning Xiaoxiao liked. This disgusting and shameless creature. In my previous life, Ning Xiaoxiao had just accepted me for a while before inexplicably losing her temper with me again. I thought I hadn't done well enough, so I hurriedly sent her countless silks and satins, humbly trying to please her until she was happy. But soon, the hairpin on her head disappeared, and even the jewels on her dressing table vanished. I was curious and asked her, "Where are the jewels?" She blinked her eyes and said, "I'm not like you nobles who sit around doing nothing. I pawned my jewels to help the poor families around." I thought she was kind-hearted and liked her even more, until I accidentally discovered that the jewels I had given her were all worn by Li Luyun. What do you have besides power and influence? In every other aspect, you can't compare to me. At this moment, Li Luyun straightened his chest and said, "Xiaoxiao doesn't love you. She loves me. I advise you to have some self-awareness and leave quickly." I raised my hand and grabbed the slicked-back actor by the neck. Ah. His body was frail, and his face, which resembled a woman's, showed fear and panic. "Let go of me. What do I have besides power and influence? As the noble prince and the general of the northern frontier, I have achieved countless military victories on the battlefield. If it weren't for my foolishness in my previous life, focusing all my attention on Ning Xiaoxiao, how could a mere actor jump around in front of me?" Ning Xiaoxiao hurriedly scolded, "Let go of him!" My eyes narrowed slightly, and my fingers tightened. In just 1 second, I could snap this powdered actor's neck. Seeing that I was serious, Ning Xiaoxiao was finally scared. She hurriedly clung to me. "Don't kill him. If you let him go, I'll marry you." In my previous life, to make her get on the wedding sedan, I, a dignified prince with royal blood, knelt to the heavens and my father. But for her, I broke my spine, kneeling before her, wagging my tail and begging. I begged her for a whole hour, and only after her vanity was greatly satisfied did she raise her head and get on the wedding sedan. "You want to marry me?" I glanced at her indifferently and suddenly laughed. "Your arms have been pillows for thousands, your lips tasted by millions. How could I, A dignified prince. Marry a filthy prostitute like you. Ning Xiaoxiao's face turned extremely ugly. She grabbed my sleeve with her fingers, staring at me incredulously. What do you mean? Clearly. You insisted on marrying me with the ceremony of a princess. Get lost. I hated her approach and waved her away. Ning Xiaoxiao was finally panicked. Her face showed fear, and she suddenly knelt before me. My lord, I'm sorry. My words were too harsh just now. I beg you, don't abandon me. Looking at her vulgar appearance, I felt more and more that my past self was incredibly foolish. It truly confirmed what my royal brother once told me. That woman Ning Xiaoxiao, besides looking a bit good, is utterly worthless. There are plenty of such women in brothels. My royal brother sighed and said, Mubai, you just spent too long on the battlefield without interacting with women. My lord, I was wrong. I was truly wrong. Ning Xiaoxiao saw my hesitation and crawled to me. My lord, I actually have deep affection for you, but you are of high status, and I am a humble prostitute, so I thought I wasn't worthy of you, and that's why I rejected you. You are quite self-aware, you indeed aren't worthy of me. A slight smile appeared at the corner of my mouth. Don't you like staying in the brothel to entertain guests? I will kindly fulfill your wish. Ning Xiaoxiao's face suddenly turned pale. My lord, you're really not going to marry me? I didn't speak to her and turned to leave. Every second I looked at her face, I couldn't restrain the urge to kill her. I have killed thousands on the battlefield, so I know better than anyone that slitting her throat is far too merciful. I want this prostitute and actor to be unable to live or die. When I went downstairs, I specifically instructed the madam. I have no feelings for Ning Xiaoxiao anymore, but you must take good care of her. The madam was a shrewd person who could adapt to the situation. She quickly understood that I had no feelings for Ning Xiaoxiao. She promised with enthusiasm, Don't worry, my lord. I will definitely take good care of her. I had just left the brothel when I heard Ning Xiaoxiao's painful cries from being whipped. One day, Ning Xiaoxiao suddenly visited the mansion. Her once delicate face was haggard, and there were several conspicuous whip marks on her body. She knelt in front of me, pitifully begging, My lord, I know you're angry with me. Let's make up. Can you please tell the madam not to make me entertain guests? I laughed. Didn't you say you'd rather be a courtesan in a brothel than become my princess? Since that's the case, I'm giving you this great opportunity, yet you don't seem to appreciate it at all. Ning Xiaoxiao's eyes gradually turned bloodshot. You once said I was the woman you loved the most. Love? I once loved her so much that I was ridiculed by the world. Yet I didn't care. But what about her? She treated me like a beast of burden, completely dismissing me. I kicked her to the ground. Get out! Ning Xiaoxiao was dragged out by the guards, falling awkwardly onto the street. At this moment, Li Luyun ran out, anxiously asking, How did it go? Did you get the money? Ning Xiaoxiao bit her lip. Zhang Mubai might really mean it this time. It seems he truly has no feelings for me anymore. Useless. Li Luyun suddenly tore at her clothes, shouting angrily, Why didn't you strip naked to seduce him? Isn't that what you're best at? Ning Xiaoxiao pushed him away, eyes full of disbelief. What are you doing? Xiaoxiao, I didn't mean it. You know I want to be an official. But I don't know many words, so I can only donate money to become one. Once I become an official, you'll be the official's wife. Li Luyun became more and more excited. Xiaoxiao, if there's no other way, you might as well agree to entertain guests for the madam. Li Luyun. Ning Xiaoxiao raised her hand and slapped Li Luyun hard across the face. I've given you my body and love, and yet you still want me to entertain guests? Do you have any conscience? Li Luyun, enraged by the slap, suddenly grabbed Ning Xiaoxiao by the neck. It's all because you didn't get the money for me to donate and become an official, so I went to the casino to gamble. Do you know I am now drowning in debt? If I don't pay it back, I'll be killed. After that, Ning Xiaoxiao, who used to only play the zither for elegant poets and officials, fell to the level of a lowly woman who would accompany any man willing to spend money. Soon, news came from the brothel. Ning Xiaoxiao was being forced by the madam to auction off her first night. That day I went. She was forced to wear a sheer dress, her fair little face full of fear and despair. Her starting bid was 500 silver taels. A bunch of wealthy bumpkins and old men below looked at Ning Xiaoxiao with lecherous eyes, some even drooling and groping her feet. "No, don't touch me!" Ning Xiaoxiao screamed in terror. Suddenly, she looked up and saw me in the private room. Hope appeared in her eyes. My lord, you still love me, right? Your Highness, I beg you to save me. I will never be ungrateful again." Faced with her pleas, I remained indifferent. The auction below had begun. Ning Xiaoxiao was very beautiful, and because I had once kept her, her price skyrocketed, reaching 5,000 taels. The highest bidder was an old eunuch in his 50s or 60s. The heart of an old eunuch is the darkest. He bought Ning Xiaoxiao only to torment her. Several girls had been bought by the old eunuch before, unable to bear the pain. They bit their tongues and committed suicide. No, I absolutely don't want you to touch me." Ning Xiaoxiao cried helplessly in my direction. "Your Highness, I beg you to save me. I truly know my mistake. I don't even dare to hope to be your princess anymore. I would be willing to be your maid. Did you think the Prince Mubai would protect you?" The old eunuch shakily walked onto the stage and slapped her hard. "You shameless wench. He is a noble prince. He was just briefly interested in you. How could he possibly care for a wench like you?" Ning Xiaoxiao was utterly desperate. She glared at me with hatred. "Your Highness, if you don't save me, then I will die." I stood up and smiled at her. "Fine. I bid 10,000 taels." The old eunuch was terrified and knelt before me. Your Highness, please forgive me. I didn't know you were here. Otherwise, I would never have bid for her." Everyone present was shocked. I heard their whispers. "This Ning Xiaoxiao is truly fortunate. She rejected the prince in front of so many people, yet the prince bears no grudge and still treats her so well. The prince came from the battlefield, rarely seeing women. He still can't let go of this Ning Xiaoxiao. Alas, the noble position of princess is given to such a lowly prostitute." Your Highness." The despair vanished from Ning Xiaoxiao's eyes. She was extremely excited and repeatedly kowtowed to me. "Your Highness, I knew you loved me. Your Highness, this time I promise I won't be ungrateful again. I will do my utmost to love you." Do her utmost to love me? More like do her utmost to cuckold me in the temple, right? Thinking of the past life where Ning Xiaoxiao and Li Luyun entangled in the temple, my hatred resurfaced. I threw the silver note to the madam, enunciating each word. "Just a prostitute. I bought her first night. Everyone present can enjoy her." The crowd erupted with excitement. They all turned to me with gratitude. "Thank you, Your Highness. Your Highness, how can you treat me like this?" Ning Xiaoxiao's pupils contracted suddenly, screaming in terror and anger. "No matter how much you hate me, you can't let so many people humiliate me." I smiled faintly. "But before that, let's have Miss Ning Xiaoxiao, who is skilled in music, chess, calligraphy, and painting, perform a dance for us." Ning Xiaoxiao lowered her head, her body already stiff, murmuring softly, "Your Highness, you must be speaking in anger. You once loved me so much. You must be reluctant to let me go." Before she could finish her words, the madam took out a whip and lashed it hard. "Didn't you hear what His Highness said? Hurry up and dance." A group of old men below eagerly jeered. "Yes, hurry up and dance." Ning Xiaoxiao cried with tears streaming down her face. Under the madam's whip, she danced stiffly. I watched coldly from the elegant room, seeing her mix of sorrow and anger. A sense of revenge surged in my heart. "Ning Xiaoxiao, you should understand now. Without me, you live worse than a dog." After the dance, everyone pounced on her like wolves and tigers. The whole capital knew Ning Xiaoxiao started entertaining guests, flocking to Fragrant Pavilion to request her. Later, it was heard she fell ill. and the madam no longer cared for her. She wandered alone on the streets, but I ignored her. One day, feeling bored, I was sipping tea at a tea house and encountered Chun Kai-dai, the legitimate daughter of the Marquis. Chun Kai-dai was my childhood playmate, always following me around calling me brother. Every time I returned from the border, I would bring her some rare trinkets, which she cherished like treasures. Father once intended for me to marry her, but since I became infatuated with Ning Xiaoxiao, I found her dull everywhere, rejecting her several times. In my past life, Ning Xiaoxiao once told me, "I don't like the legitimate daughter of the Marquis. She once bullied commoners like me." Thus, without asking any reason, I harshly reprimanded the dignified and virtuous Chun Kai-dai, representing the family's face in front of the entire royal family. After that, I never saw Chun Kai-dai again. Now, encountering Chun Kai-dai, an indescribable feeling of guilt arose in my heart. Chun Kai-dai suddenly looked out the window. "Your Highness, look how lively the street is." I followed her gaze. It was Ning Xiaoxiao. She was barely clothed, being pulled by a few foul-smelling beggar old men. Disgusting hands groped her body randomly. "We'll give you some silver. Just let us touch you." Many people watched the spectacle, all pointing at Ning Xiaoxiao and discussing. Suddenly, Ning Xiaoxiao looked up and saw me drinking tea in the tea house. She seemed to see a glimmer of hope in the dark mire, once again joyfully running towards me. "Your Highness, Your Highness!" The servants behind blocked Ning Xiaoxiao. Chun Kai-dai scolded the attendants. "Someone, drive this beggar out. Don't sully His Highness's eyes." "Your Highness, you've already punished me. I really know my mistake. Please, love me once more, okay?" Ning Xiaoxiao ignored Chun Kai-dai. Even though she was deeply trapped in the abyss, she still believed I would help. Chun Kai-dai, as a legitimate daughter of a noble family, remained calm, looking at me with a gentle gaze. "Do you still love her?" I waved my hand, saying, "Let her come over." Ning Xiaoxiao saw me agree. A fleeting moment of pride appeared. And Chun Kai-dai, I saw a trace of disappointment in her eyes. Thud! Ning Xiaoxiao knelt at my feet, pitiful like a cat or dog, clinging to my clothes, constantly pleading, "Your Highness, please care for me. I really can't endure these inhuman days anymore. Take me back, and I'll serve you day and night." She even, in broad daylight, tore off her remaining clothes, seductively trying to entice me. My anger reached its peak. Unable to bear it anymore, I kicked her away. Vile creature! I gritted my teeth, wishing I could strangle her. Ning Xiaoxiao was first stunned, then lay on the ground, repeatedly kowtowing and begging for mercy. "Your Highness, I know I was wrong. I apologize. Considering our past relationship, you can't ignore me. I really don't want to live such a bitter life of entertaining guests and being groped by men." "Don't want to entertain guests?" I wished I could strip her naked and bind her to the city wall for public display. I was about to speak when a pair of gentle, boneless hands lightly patted my shoulder. "Your Highness, Miss Ning is indeed quite pitiful. To prevent the world from saying you're heartless and unjust, let her do menial work at Fragrant Pavilion." A trace of admiration surged in my eyes. "It's still little Kai-dai who thinks of me. Chun Kai-dai, you vile woman, actually inciting His Highness to harm me." Ning Xiaoxiao's tear-filled eyes suddenly turned hateful, wishing to tear Chun Kai-dai apart. I protected Chun Kai-dai in my arms, looking at Ning Xiaoxiao as if she were roadside trash. "What are you waiting for? Drive her out." I was blind back then, captivated by someone like Ning Xiaoxiao, actually ignoring the noble, dignified, and loving legitimate daughter of a noble family to love a prostitute. I find myself utterly ridiculous. In the days to come, I must make amends to Kai-dai. According to the reports from the spies, with my decree, the madam no longer allows Ning Xiaoxiao to entertain guests. Instead, she makes her do the dirtiest and most exhausting tasks at the Fragrant Pavilion, like washing clothes, cooking, disposing of slop, laundering garments, and cleaning tables. Her life has become even more miserable than when she was a courtesan. Her income has plummeted. She can't afford a decent dress, and her face is smeared with cheap rouge, making her look old and ugly. Li Luyun demands money from her every day, and they have had several fierce arguments. Ning Xiaoxiao finally couldn't bear it anymore and shouted at Li Luyun, "Can't you spend less? I'm sick and can't entertain guests. How am I supposed to earn money?" Li Luyun, in a fit of rage, slapped her, leaving Ning Xiaoxiao stunned. Perhaps realizing his impulsiveness, Li Luyun quickly tried to coax Ning Xiaoxiao. "Xiaoxiao, be good. Why don't you secretly entertain guests again? Once we've saved enough silver, I'll redeem you, and we can live a happy and carefree life." Ning Xiaoxiao actually believed him and, despite her illness and frail body, went to the dark alleys to entertain guests. Hearing this, I could only find it laughable. Such a person is truly lowly. In the past, she was served with the best food and drink, yet she discarded it like trash. Now, having fallen to such a state, she still seems to relish it. I can only lament how foolish I was before. Ning Xiaoxiao has now fallen into the depths of a muddy abyss. The hatred in my heart gradually subsides. Chen Kaidai once asked me why, despite everyone advising me not to love Ning Xiaoxiao too deeply, I never listened. But why did I suddenly, without any teaching, transform my deep love for Ning Xiaoxiao into such hatred? I cannot tell her that I have been reborn, nor can I tell her that, in my previous life, I witnessed the conspiracy and illicit affair between Ning Xiaoxiao and Li Luyun. Fortunately, I was reborn. Otherwise, I would have been forever deceived by Ning Xiaoxiao's hypocritical facade. At this moment, Chen Kaidai rests her little head against my chest. "Your Highness, it's good that you can see her true nature." I hold Chen Kaidai tightly, feeling the warmth of her body. I say, "Kaidai, let's get married." Chen Kaidai's body stiffens in my embrace. She looks up in disbelief, her eyes brimming with tears. "Your Highness, are you serious?" I pinch her cheek, revealing a gentle smile. "Of course, it's true. Ning Xiaoxiao has become the laughingstock of the capital." I also went to the palace to request a marriage decree from the emperor. The emperor was pleased with my reformation and rewarded me with countless gold and jewels. However, I sent them all to the Marquis's residence for Chen Kaidai. The day I brought the betrothal gifts to the Marquis's residence, Ning Xiaoxiao found me again. Her face was swollen like a pig's head. Her hair was a tangled mess, and she wore only a tattered garment barely covering her body. Her entire body was covered in bruises, a pitiful sight, and she emitted an unpleasant odor. "No matter how you treat me, Your Highness, I still come to you. I know deep down, you still have love for me." She knelt at my feet. "I now truly know that Li Luyun is a scoundrel. You have always treated me the best. Please take me back to the royal residence." Turns out Li Luyun had become deeply addicted to gambling. He incurred a huge gambling debt, and the gambling house owner, eager to curry favor with me, deliberately set him up, causing him to lose more and more. In the end, Li Luyun was forced to repay his gambling debts daily, resorting to deceiving women for money. Li Luyun was caught in the act and was beaten by several men until he was covered in injuries. With no money left, he went to Ning Xiaoxiao for more. Ning Xiaoxiao's earnings had long been squandered by Li Luyun. When she couldn't produce any money, he drugged her, threw her into a ruined temple outside the city, and collected silver from a group of beggars, offering Ning Xiaoxiao for them to abuse at will. Ning Xiaoxiao was tortured by the beggars until she was barely recognizable. When she awoke in the ruined temple, she heard from the beggars that Li Luyun had abandoned her there. Furious, she sought out Li Luyun to settle the score, only to find him counting money with another woman, whispering sweet nothings. "When I make Ning Xiaoxiao sell herself a few more times, I'll sell her to the military camp once she's of no use. With the money, we can run away together." The woman clung to Li Luyun's arm, laughing coquettishly. "Luyun, if Ning Xiaoxiao knew you gave all the money to me and that I'm carrying your child, wouldn't she be furious? Who cares if she dies or not? She's been used by so many people. How could I possibly marry her? Now, I just treat her like a money-making dog. Seeing Li Luyun's true colors, Ning Xiaoxiao burst in and fought with the two of them. Li Luyun, I gave you my heart and soul, and this is how you treat me. Seeing the madwoman like Ning Xiaoxiao, Li Luyun could no longer hide his disgust. He slapped Ning Xiaoxiao several times, punching and kicking her. Who told you to be a prostitute, a lowly creature to the bone? You're not even worthy of carrying my shoes. Ning Xiaoxiao was powerless to defend herself and was beaten nearly to death by the two of them. After completely falling out with Li Luyun, Ning Xiaoxiao dragged her weary body back to the fragrant pavilion. The madam ordered the thugs to throw her out. From today on, you can only sleep next to the latrine. Dare to take one step out of here and I'll kill you. Ning Xiaoxiao went from being the top courtesan of Fragrant Pavilion to a mere plaything for men, and eventually became the lowest servant at Fragrant Pavilion. She had to do the most menial work all day, couldn't eat her fill or dress warmly, and was often bullied and beaten by other servants. When she heard that I was going to propose to Chun Kai-dai, she found a chance to escape and stopped me at the gate of the Marquis's residence. How the tables have turned. I knew that Ning Xiaoxiao came to find me not because she truly had a change of heart. She was just used to the luxurious life I once provided her. Now that she had fallen from grace and become a lowly prostitute, she couldn't bear this kind of life, so she humbled herself before me. Faced with her pleas, I was unmoved and simply ordered the servants to drag her away. At the same time, I issued a command. In the future, if this wretch comes to my residence again, kill her without mercy. I had the right to kill Ning Xiaoxiao, but I didn't want to use it. I wanted Ning Xiaoxiao to suffer in this world. On the day of my grand wedding with Chun Kai-dai, the entire capital was decorated with lanterns and streamers. All the young lords and ladies from noble families in the capital came. Even my father and mother came to receive the new bride's tea. My elder brother held a wine cup and patted my shoulder. Mubai, see how well you are doing now that you are not bewitched by a courtesan. This is the dignity that the royal family should have. On the wedding night, I lifted Kai-dai's bridal veil, and she looked at me shyly, her heart and eyes full of me. I held her and sincerely apologized. Kai-dai, I'm sorry, in the past, I was blind to people's true nature and made you suffer so much. Kai-dai suddenly covered my lips. I've liked you since I was a child, always playing around you, and you never found me annoying. Later, every time you went on an expedition, you would bring me little trinkets to amuse me. At that time, I vowed that I would marry no one but you. But when you were bewitched by Ning Xiaoxiao, I was heartbroken. Yet I only wished for you to turn back. Fortunately, you did not turn back too late. I held Kai-dai tightly, as if I wanted to merge her into my bones. I ignored the one who loved me and treasured the one who did not. I truly was a fool. Kai-dai, from now on, I will never let you down. Not long after the wedding, I took Kai-dai to live in the fiefdom, far from the hustle and bustle of the capital. Later, I heard that Ning Xiaoxiao died. She died on the night of New Year's Eve. She was tortured by several people in turns, and finally died of exhaustion, wrapped in a straw mat and thrown into a garbage heap. The old man cleaning the garbage found it troublesome and directly transported the body to a mass grave. As for Li Luyun, he could never repay his gambling debts, and the woman with him ran off with all his valuables. After a few days of hiding, he was eventually caught by the people from the gambling house. Li Luyun was beaten for 3 days and nights, and finally had his legs broken by the gambling house. He survived by begging on the streets of the capital. In the warm weather of May, I took Kai-dai across the great rivers and mountains, saw the scenery of the northern desert, and then took her west to see the sea. After 5 months, we finally reached the fiefdom in southern. I chose our residence in an elegant little town, where streams flowed gently, fruit trees were everywhere, and the air was filled with the scent of life. Kai-dai was already 3 months pregnant, and it was my first time becoming a father, so I took great care of her. She always laughed at me. Look at you, there's not a trace of a prince's demeanor left. I lay on her belly, grinning foolishly. Being with my wife, whether I'm a prince or not doesn't matter. I was immersed in happiness, unable to extricate myself. Since the day I left the capital, I never thought of Ning Xiaoxiao again. Her face even disappeared from my memory. I had completely found myself again. And I had also found the love that belonged to me.